Welcome back. Today we're going to do lesson 11.4. It's on page 692 in your book. It is on multiplying and dividing rational expressions. Okay, let's look at example 1a on page 692. It's r squared x over 9t to the third times 3t to the fourth over r. Just like when I'm multiplying, my cat just went behind this board. Just like when I'm multiplying, I want to say hi. It's Frank. You say hi, Frank? Hi, everybody. All right. So just like when I'm multiplying fractions, I can factor out common factors. So here I'm going to factor out an r from this term and this, or from this factor is a 1. R squared divided by r is r. I can factor out a 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. I can factor out a t to the third from t to the third and t to the fourth. I can see I forgot my x here when I multiply. So t to the third divided by t to the third is 1. T to the fourth divided by t to the third is t. I multiply across r times x times t. Put the x in there. And 3 times 1 is just 3. Okay, this is example 1b. I'm again on page 692. Okay, this is example 1b, again on page 692. I have a plus 4 over a squared times a over a squared plus 2a minus 8. I want to factor this trinomial. So two numbers that multiply together give me negative 8, added together give me 2, or 4 and negative 2. So this factors to a plus 4 times a minus 2. Now I can factor out common factors. The a plus 4 will factor. And I can factor an a out of this a and an a out of this a squared, and I'm left with a. Now I just multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1. A times a minus 2. You can leave this like this. The book has the answers like this, or you can go ahead and multiply. Okay, ready for your first problem that goes on your sheet that's coming in the homework folder in the morning. It's x plus 3 over x times 5 over x squared plus 7x plus 12. Okay, let's check your work. I'm going to factor the trinomial, so it factors to x plus 4 times x plus 3. Now I can factor out the x plus 3's and multiply across. I get 5 over x times x plus 4. And if I use the distributive property, 5 over x squared plus 4x. All right. Hope you did well on that. Okay, you may remember dimensional analysis from last year. Dimensional analysis is generally we use it to convert from one unit to another. In this case, in example 2 on page 693, there's a skier whose pace is 88 kilometers per 51.23 minutes, and we want to convert that to miles per hour. So I want to write out the units and cancel them just like I would cancel factors. So I have 88 kilometers over 51.23 minutes. That's the initial speed. And I'm converting to miles per hour. So I want the conversion factor for miles to kilometers. There are 0.62 miles in 1 kilometer. So I want to make sure I'm writing the units. And then I'm converting minutes to hours. So there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. Hang on, someone's mowing their lawn. Shut the door so you can't hear it. I wish they'd mow mine too. All right, so I'm going to cancel the units that I can cancel. So kilometers in the numerator here, kilometers in the denominator here. minutes in the numerator here, denominator here, and minutes in the numerator here. So I'm left with miles and hours, and that's what I want. So I just multiply straight across 88 times 0.62 miles times 60 over 5123 times 1 times 1 hour. Multiply, I get 3,273.6 miles over 51.23 hours, and I divide the numerator by the denominator to get 63.9 miles per hour. Dimensional analysis. Okay, you're going to try the same problem, only instead of converting to miles per hour, you're going to convert to feet per second. You need the conversion factor for feet to kilometers or kilometers. There are 3,280.8 feet in 1 kilometer. So here's the original speed, 88 kilometers over 51.23 minutes. Convert that to feet per second using a dimensional analysis. Okay, so we had the same problem. We were converting now from instead of miles per hour to feet per second. The original speed was 88 kilometers over 51.23 minutes. I used the conversion of feet to kilometers, so 3,280.8 feet over 1 kilometer times 1 minute over 60 seconds. How do I know which number goes in the numerator and which goes in the denominator? I want to be able to cancel the units I'm interested in canceling, so I need them in opposite places. So kilometer, kilometer, minute, minute. All right, so now I cancel the units. Kilometers cancel, minutes cancel. Multiply across, I get 88 times 3,280.8 feet. That's what's left, the units left, over 51.23 times 1 times 60 seconds. That multiplies, the product is 288,710.4 feet over 3,073.8 seconds. If I divide 288,710.4 by 3,073.8, I get 93.2 feet per second. Okay, we're going to move on to dividing. Basically the same thing, because all we do is flip the fraction. Dividing a rational expression by a polynomial. This is example 4, page 694. And it is 2x plus 6 over x squared divided by x plus 3. I make the polynomial, the polynomial into a fraction, so 2x plus 6, I divided by x squared divided by x plus 3 over 1. And then, as you know, we don't divide by fractions, we multiply by their reciprocal. So that becomes 2x plus 6 over x squared times 1 over x plus 3. If I factor out a 2 here, then I can get a common factor of x plus 3, which I can cancel. And now I just multiply across. 2 times 1 is 2 over x squared. Okay, here's your third problem for tonight. 4d minus 8 over 2d minus 6 divided by 2d minus 4 over d minus 4. Okay, in this problem, we want to flip the second fraction. So we have 4d minus 8 over 2d minus 6 times d minus 4 over 2d minus 4. I can factor out a 4 here. So this becomes 4 times d minus 2 and a 2 here. So this becomes 2 times d minus 3. Over here I can factor out a 2 in the denominator, so I get 2 times d minus 2. The d minus 2's will cancel. I cancel a 2 out here, I'm left with a 2, and then I have 2 over 2, so that's just 1. So when I multiply across, I get 1 times d minus 4 equals d minus 4, and 1 times d minus 3 equals d minus 3. So d minus 4 over d minus 3 is the answer. Okay. Here's example 5 on page 694. Sometimes when we're dividing, we need to factor trinomials in order to cancel factors out. So in this case we have y minus 3 over the trinomial y squared minus 10y plus 16 divided by y squared minus 9, which you'll recognize as a difference in squares, over y minus 8. So again, I flip the second fraction, y minus 3 over y squared minus 10y plus 16 times y minus 8 over y squared minus 9. I'm going to factor both the trinomial and the difference of squares. So this factors to y minus 2 times y minus 8. The difference of squares factors to y plus 3 times y minus 3. Now I can factor out a y minus 3 and a y minus 8. Multiply across, I get 1 over y squared plus y minus 2 times y plus 3. Your book leaves the answers like this a lot of times. You can go ahead and multiply that, but when you're showing your steps, make sure you have this here so when you go to check, you can easily check that. Okay, here's your final problem for tonight. P squared minus 4 over 5p divided by p minus 2 over p plus q. Okay, and let's check your work. So I flip the second fraction, so I have p squared minus 4 over 5p times pq is now in the numerator over p minus 2. This is a difference in squares. It factors to p plus 2 times p minus 2. I can cancel the p minus 2's, and now I just multiply across. So again, I'm leaving these factored p plus 2 times p plus q over 5p so that you can compare their answers. All right, I think that's it. We'll check work tomorrow, and have a good night.